Hello, welcome to this patch preview. It's gonna be a very big patch and it's coming out on Thursday, so in 2 days. So first we have you can select different text setups. So here we can make new, let's rename it Special Tactics. And then here you can choose what text setup you will use for. It's pretty cool. And now the rare units are here also. There is not more technologies for them. Maybe they are coming in the future. So this is the new FAR SEER, and it's a rare unit, cost 300, and it's a support unit. It's very interesting one. It's not that tanky for a 300 cost unit. It's very fast, does good damage, and it has insane range. Like default range is 125. Mustang with range upgrade is 135. So that's kind of crazy, and it targets air and ground. But the trick here is that it shoots missiles that can be intercepted. So it's pretty interesting. And it has a lot of support technologies. It has the same photon emission as the Overlord. And then there's search radar, which is new. And it increases the range of ground units by 10. So very strong with, say, Vulcans, melting points, Mustangs. Then it has very cheap interceptor. Not quite sure how powerful this is. I tested it a little bit, but then it has very cheap EMP tech, which is very nice because the attack splashes a lot also. And it hits air also. So it might be really useful sometime. The only problem is that it can be intercepted with the AM device. So it's kinda unreliable. And even though it's a rare unit, you can switch out the layout. That's pretty interesting as well. So let's go to the testing grounds, show it around a bit. So this is how the unit behaves. It shoots some missiles. Like completely deletes the wasp. It's kinda nice. So the cool thing about this unit is that it's very useful early game because of the high range. Without using any money to its technologies. And then later on you can use it as a full support unit. So I tested the range on these spells a little bit. The search radar and photon emission both have 100-meter radius. And the search radar also affects the Farseer, so it buffs its range also. And with the giants you need to be, like the max distance is 6 paces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And with the Mustangs it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they will all get the spell. And keep in mind that they are okay, maybe it was one less. Keep in mind that there is a delay on these, so when your units aggro the different way, they might not get it. So then there's a new medal system. You can find them on your profile. Like all of this seems to be the same as before. But now there's this medal tab. I don't have anything here, but let me show you a screenshot how they will look like. So you can gather them from tournaments, but they are saying that they are gonna add other sources of medals in the future. So that's kind of cool. Then there's new card visuals, and I think this look kinda amazing, and also it was very confusing. I think that the starting specialists were called specialist, and then when you picked out a card, it was also a specialist. So I think this is a nice differentiation from the starting specs to the cards you can pick. But I'm gonna miss some of the old art. Like I love the top supply specialist with the smiling guy. I really loved it, but I think this is a better system for the game. Then I think they have added some other graphics. I think like Has this, for example, changed? I'm not sure. So there's some new stuff. Then there's also some quality of life changes, like you can upgrade multiple units at once of the same type. But I think this might be a little bit of a noob trap, because you don't want to upgrade so many units usually. It's usually better to not upgrade units, but it's a very cool feature. I missed so many upgrades with the subsidized crawler card, for example, because I didn't see one crawler in the corner. Okay, then there's actually two new technologies, one for the worm and one for the crawler. And the worm technology is Sudden Strike. Sandworms emerge from the ground faster, and their first attack after emerging is stronger. Attack increased by 100%, splash range is increased by 10. So the normal splash range is 12. I tested this a little bit, but didn't seem to be that effective. And then the crawler one, which is very, very nice. There's loose formation, so they will spread apart while moving. So these are the untech versions, and these are the tech versions. Let's see. And by the way, I'm gonna do some kind of testing video about these new techs and units and stuff like that. So if you have any ideas for that, leave a comment, please. So they spread very nicely. Against Arclight, I would imagine this is insane. And the first attack here was a little bit faster. The splash range could be really relevant, because sometimes you don't have any chaff clear with the worm. So here are the patch notes I got, and keep in mind this might not all come true. So this is just a draft of the patch notes, what's coming. So this might change, but this is like a preview of the system. So we already checked these ones out. Okay, new specialists. So there's two new specialists. Sabertooth specialist. You will get one level 1 Sabertooth for free on round 2. And I think this is pretty powerful specialist. And I think it's a good thing that you can get it on round 2, because you can deploy it on the perfect spot without losing that much tempo on round 1. And the Sabertooth is a really strong unit early on. When it levels, it's a great item holder. It's super good. And then the new rare unit also has a new specialist, so a Farseer specialist. Get level 1 Farseer for free on round 3. And not quite sure yet how good this is, because I don't understand the new unit that well yet. But seems to be pretty strong, but seems to be also a lot weaker than the Rhino specialist. For sure, but maybe the Farseer offers much needed support in late game, so maybe. Not quite sure. Then there's some new variants. Improved Tarantula. Increases Tarantula's movement speed by 5. That's crazy. I think one of the Tarantula is a very strong aggro unit, and its biggest weakness, I think, it's that it's pretty slow. So this is definitely relevant. But I also feel that the Tarantula is only good when you start with it. So does it make sense to actually pick up this card and start building them? I don't think so, but we will see. And there's new variant Elite Tarantula, so you can get level 3 Tarantulas instantly. And then the balance adjustments. I think right now the biggest offender is Vulcan, and I think Fire Badger is also pretty strong. And I think Wasp is super good right now. I don't know if it's imbalanced or anything, but I feel like I've been using Wasp in all of my games. So Wasp is definitely a good unit now. So the Vulcan's attack is getting decreased by 3%. And the Scorching Fire's attack bonus is decreased from 125 to 100. I think this might be enough to make the Vulcan like fair. But let's see, I would have myself also up the price of the Scorching Fire. Like definitely. And then the Mustang is getting 6% attack buff. It's kinda insane, but the Mustang has been not so good unit. And the Fang is also getting a 4% attack buff. And this could be insane. I've been playing a lot of carry Fangs lately, and I've been winning a lot of games with them. But now they are also buffing the counter, the Mustang. So we shall see. But I feel like this is a very big buff to both of these units. And both of these units can be really scary when they get going. So we shall see. But also what this means is this is actually a big nerf to Wasps. Like big nerf. And then the War Factory production stuff is getting buffed. A couple of patches ago actually I gave my opinion about the War Factory and I said that it has too much range and the production technologies are too bad. So they nerfed the range previously and now they are buffing the production technologies. But this doesn't seem at all enough, I think. So they are buffing the Phoenix production limit from 5 to 6 and decreasing the cost from 350 to 300. And the limit of Steel Ball is increased from 9 to 11 and the cost is from 300 to 250. And the Sledge production is increased from 12 to 17 and the cost is decreased from 250 to 200. Well, the Sledge production seems to be pretty good now. We shall see. The factory is a very strong unit still. Then there's the Fire Batcher, and I think this is so broken, the unit, it's very good. And they are decreasing its HP by 5%. It's a very good change. It's way too tanky. And yeah, the Napalm is the most problematic technology it has. I think it's completely busted. And the cost is increased from 250 to 300. I think they actually need to remove this technology from the game. But it's a good change. Then the Sabertooth. They have removed the photon emission. It's a good change. I think the photon was really clunky with the Sabertooth because the range was so slow or short. It was pretty hard to even photon your guys properly. Like I imagine people were trying in the training grounds how to get the photon on a War Factory. Because if the War Factory aggroed the other way, even though the Saber was right near it, it didn't get the photon. Then the Typhoon is also getting a 5% attack increase. So it seems like they are buffing all of these units that are shooting very fast, except nerfing the Vulcan. So I think the Typhoon is pretty good unit in the right situation. So very scary buffs. I will definitely use the Typhoon more this patch. Then big Sandworm changes. 5% decrease to the health pool. And the cost of underground maintenance decreased from 250 to 150. I think the underground maintenance is still pretty bad. It might be pretty broken in some other modes like FFA or something, but I wouldn't use this ever in 1 versus 1. And now they are buffing the Replicate and Mechanical Division by making the larva the same level as the Sandworm, and this is very relevant because the Sandworm is one of those units which you want to level. You can even level it to level 3 or 4 even, because it dodges steel balls and melters quite well. And these Sandworms can now burrow into the ground faster. This is, I think, the new technology which we covered already. Then they are changing the specialist. So the marksman specialist. Oh, when I read this before, I thought they changed the marksman to level 2 unit. But now they are getting it on round 2. Holy moly. Is this a good change? Like, the marksman spec was the best specialist in the game. For sure, because of the tarantula starts. And now I don't even feel this is a problem. I think this is pretty neutral change. Because you don't lose that much on level 1. Or the round 1. You don't feed experience with the marksman to the enemy. And now you can actually position the marksman where the enemy is positioned. So this actually might be a buff for the specialist. Not quite sure. Very, very strange change here. And then they are buffing the aerial specialist. Attack and HP bonus increase from 10 to 13. Okay, I guess that is nice. It is still pretty good specialist, but it revolves so much, I think, around raids in the mid game and maybe wasps in the early game. So I think it's pretty good specialist still, but probably their statistics show that it's kind of bad. But it could be that people don't know how to use wasps and raids correctly. Both are very strong units. Then they are changing the existing variants. Improved rate. Attack bonus is increased from 10 to 30, but it no longer gives HP bonus. This, I think the buffing of the attack to the rate is good. Like the rate, this card could be pretty strong now. Because how the rate works is that it gets heavily blocked by sledgehammers in the mid game, like level 2 field maintenance sledges. And of course giants in the late game, but you use steel balls with the raid, so the giants usually aren't a problem. But like fire badgers and sledgehammers are a pretty big problem to the raid. And the 30% attack might be enough for the raid to kill these medium-sized units. So this card could be pretty strong. And the improved sledgehammer, the attack bonus is increased from 60 to 100. Yeah, I always felt that the improved sledge card was pretty good, but the attack is not that useful most of the time. Most of the time it's just stuck on chaff. But maybe you can go like carry sledges easier with this. Or just use them like level 1 sledges, where they do same damage as level 2 sledges, but they are like 50 cheaper. Don't know, interesting changes though. So yeah, that's all the patch notes, and keep in mind that these are like probably not the final ones. They're probably gonna change something, add something, remove something. I don't know, we shall see on Thursday. I will make probably a short video on Thursday when this comes out. And here, this is the last section of this video. If someone wants to see this, the new names of these new devices. So advanced shield device, advanced missile device, strike spec is changed to fast teleportation. Then the unit cards are staying the same, I guess. So here is the saber-tooth specialist. Efficient tech research. Efficient giant manufacturing. Advanced powertrain. Okay, so they are... Yeah, I was actually fearing that they would like remove the normal specialists from the game or from the cards, and then you couldn't get the speed specialist anymore. I was really afraid of that actually, because it's very important for the aggro gamers, but now they have differentiated them. So there's the advanced powertrain, and then there's the speed specialist. So this is the Farseer specialist. Was this the previous tech spec? I forgot how it looked like. Supply enhancement. Rapid cooling. Additional deployment. Advanced defensive tactics. Advanced offensive tactics. Advanced aiming system. Efficient small unit manufacturing. Super supply enhancement. Yeah, so nothing about them has been changed, I think. They're just new names, new pictures. But I like that they are differenting them from the specialist. It was kind of confusing that they were mixed, like the starting guys with the cards you can pick. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. And this patch comes out on Thursday, because people keep asking me, even though I mention it multiple times. Yeah, see you then.